following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
It's whatever they gave me for the top
okay.
suit, remember?
Would you like a game?
Sure, why not?
Oh, what color is your shirt? I'm colorblind, sorry. I'm scheduled for corrective surgery, but what color is your shirt?
The blue jumpsuit.
Okay. Damn. Rock keeps getting beaten by these outsiders. Whoa, mutants!
I at least just gonna walk over and it's just be like, do they have any other exotic, unstandard, like a 13-gauge shotgun?
You don't see any guns.
This is disappointing me.
What are the toys? Are they like baseball bats, wooden trains, that kind of thing? Yeah.
Sorry, I'll just hang out and snack. Bit hungry. There's like ball and cup, toy cars, blocks, plastic trains, wooden trains,
Plastic.
some metal toys like little metal cars with little tin wheels, baseball bats.
It's like a little Santa's workshop place.
Yeah.
Toy American soldiers. Oh, that's
I keep expecting to see Drapo any
damn it.
moment.
Now I've ruined Ken's floor. So annoying. Oh, well, I was going to vacuum and do things later.
It got all messed up by someone.
God damn it, Brandon.
I don't know what you mean.
Him! Beard is bad!
Beard is bad. Beard man bad.
Now I'm encouraged to be on his side.
He's like the Ray of Brandon's.
You mean how we just destroyed all our chairs and we refused to replace
Oosa.
That's right, remember, you gotta ask
not
about it.
Will
You have to
Smith.
not die. Have you worked out how your inhaler works yet?
Yes. I also have gone back to my old analysis.
Alright. There's hoops and balls and things like that.
I have some questions. Mainly,
Yeah!
why is your store called the Second Amendment? And
We sell weapons here.
are you sure?
Because wait, then that's just asking for trouble.
Oh. Well, I mean, we from the surface, I was just very interested.
Obviously.
I was very interested in how I've seen the 10mm pistols and how firepower has developed down here, independent of surface world.
Do y'all have a catalog? We could at least look at.
Oh no, but you could ask Mr. Joseph.
Well, alright. Let's just see if we can get a look-see. If their handguns are bigger, imagine how big everything else is.
How big is this toy store?
About the size.
Okay. That makes sense.
Hello there, Mr.
Howdy.
Jessup. We are strange surfacer folk that are very interested in what different kinds of guns you've developed down here.
Oh, you want guns? Are you in security?
Well, I am, sir.
Yes, I see that. Good boy. Good, beautiful boy. What a good boy you are. I don't want to see, but am I right? Listen, guns. No, not unless you're security. Out back we've got a shooting range for those who want to practice on their own time, but I can show you bows and arrows, spears, bats with barbed wire wrapped around them, and other things that you don't need to be security to own. It's your right. defend yourself, especially with a murderer around. I mean, take this. The Equalizer.
An aluminium bat with nails sticking out of it and barbed wire wrapped around it.
Woo! Took me 13 weeks to earn enough IDL to make this puppy, but ain't no one robbing my store.
Pat in the
Has anybody tried to rob your store?
No, because they know what they'd get. Or because they're good citizens. One of the two.
That is one.
I mean, they're either one or the other, right?
Technically, there's no rule against another little invention of mine that I came up with when I was 16 when I first got this job. I'll show it you, but you can't use it.
A huge big rail-like device with a little nuclear bomb-shaped thing on the end.
I call this Hiroshima. This small nuclear device is launched by a slingshot rail, accelerated magnetically down here. Can go about 100, 200 yards, and then blows up with a little 1/10 of a kiloton nuclear warhead.
Can you just keep that in the...
Technically not against the rules. Yes, Miss Hare.
Wouldn't you also be in the range of the explosion of that if you fired it off?
You're a thinking one. You need to use my tactical deployment suit with it. Radiation proof.
See, now it all makes sense.
I'm ready for when the mutants break in.
Mr. Joseph's what we like to call a preparedness enthusiast.
Oh, double bunkers.
I do. I've been chiseling out my own bunker.
Good to know.
So, did you, do blanket forts and things when you were a kid?
What?
Pulling out a chair and then building a fort out of your blankets and pillows?
My God, that's a brilliant idea. The kids could have all kinds of fun on one of those.
Well, yeah.
I'm going to pass it on to the kids. Hey, kid, you could build a preparedness sheltering unit out of blankets and pillows in your own home. Oh, God, think of the resource saving.
Well, I hope they enjoy that.
Of course, on the surface, you'll do that all the time. Living in your comfortable homes after the war ended long ago when we were kept down here as a cruel, ironic punishment. Watching your televisions.
Oh, you know about television.
Of course, I've got one right here. We have them.
That is indeed.
Oh, and Taras invented them.
Yes, to rise.
He told all kinds of interesting stories. I paid attention. I was always listening. So, what kind of weapon do you want to buy? Because I got all kinds of weapons.
Well, I'm
I
afraid...
got special arrows for your bows and arrows. I'm particularly fond of the exploding arrow. Technically not against the rules.
I like these rules.
I
They
mean,
let
I'd
lots
like
of things slide.
I don't have any money.
Well, I don't
I
think...
can think of something we could do to trade.
I'm fine, thank
Well,
you.
of course, I never suggested anything otherwise.
You will notice, covered up by a thing not quite on his counter is what might be a pornographic magazine, and that might have a very familiar body on it.
Like one that might be on the poster that's tucked under the
There's no proof, you can't see her face.
Well, this has been an education.
Oh, you shouldn't go around unprotected.
Sir, they're perfectly safe here.
Sure they are, Zeeb.
Well,
I forgive you.
on the sur-
Oh.
on the surface, we usually all carry, but
Of course, with the... Let's see, what was it? Rampant mutant crime.
That's right.
That's the one.
Yeah, I listened, I tells you.
Sir, we can't have you spreading this kind of misinformation.
I'm just agreeing with their weird stories.
Technically, I guess.
Praise the overseer. Praise him. Double
Hey.
praise, bombardment.
Don't forget, the overseer did verify our IDs that did state that we are from the Department of Mutant Verification.
Well, I'm sure they could be good Japanese forgeries, too. I'm real sure.
Not safe.
I was just about to say that.
Oh, good boy. Now, you'll go on. You're probably late for your biscuit. Now, there's no rule against me selling you ammunition for weapons you already have. Just pointing that out.
But we don't have any weapons.
10mm, 13 gauge,
13 gauge?
See, now this is
75 caliber.
see, this is the thing I was interested in, like how different kind of
Puff
guns.
cartridges.
Puff?
I mean, we don't have a 13 gauge. We have a 12 gauge.
Yeah,
Why
remember
would you
the
stop at 12?
I know, right? Like, why don't we have a 21
Yeah,
gauge?
puff cartridges. Remember the puff gun they used on the one next door when we found the
yeah.
drugs?
Oh, puff gun's a fine weapon, I'm sure, but it just doesn't have the kick and feel of a fine 75 caliber.
So, you said you can't show us the weapons, but could you show us the ammunition?
I guess I can.
A magazine of 10, the 13 gauge cartridge, the 75 caliber bullet. Looks more like a shell.
What kind of gun fires this beauty?
A big one.
That looks like from one of those old anti-air cannons
Why would you ever need that?
with the planes.
Oh, I would love to.
During wartime, shooting
So you
down.
remember Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor with planes?
Oh, I don't pay attention. The movie's full of lies.
No, that happened.
Like there was a harbor with boats on it.
Where
Next thing you'll be telling me the moon's real.
Moon is real.
Oh, we got a moon truther here. Moon truther.
As the one person here that has actually been to space, there is a goddamn moon.
What's space?
Area
sky.
above the sky where the
Oh,
moon
outer
is.
sky.
Yes.
Lunatics.
Look, you
Give me
have-
that ammunition back. You'll get out of here spreading your lies
Oh.
around.
Damn it.
Crazies.
I thought I just found my new favorite person.
He already did kind of seem like what Roxy's favorite person.
I think.
Or Roxy was his favorite person.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
He did seem interested.
I mean, if he was interested in me, that 75 caliber is awfully tempting.
I imagine they found that.
Oh God!
I imagine they found that thing abominable down here.
Well, it's kind of weird. Like, why would you not want a woman? They're great. Right, guys?
Right? But like...
Yeah, women are great.
Just like, most of them, not me, obviously, but...
What's wrong with you?
Really?
Look,
Look, not everybody can be.
Wanda, you're just being too hard on yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
Michael could not help for rather a long time when we started. You'll hit your stride eventually. And until then, you kind of one of the wisest people in this group because you ain't been saying too much and we keep putting our foot in our mouths.
Yeah, I've seen how talking works. It's best not to.
You're one of the smartest of us, so.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, congratulations, nerd. You're smart.
Have a prize.
Yeah.
Poor little thing.
She's little. She's fat in the Dixie.
Well, yeah, everyone is.
I'm not fat.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just holding out for the bottle.
Oh, we got bottling.
Butland tour time.
Yeah, you go down several levels into like a clearly not public access maintenance-y area with gantries and that, and there's big pipes and things. Here's a bottling plant. It's fucking huge. There's pipes everywhere, big vats of stuff, like glass melting and being shaped into a thing. Then they've got like multiple different areas where different liquids are bottled, like the sodas and beers and water and things like that. It's a huge operation. It must go on for maybe 1 or 2 miles.
You guys weren't having problems with the reduced water capacity?
Oh, well, of course we were having problems. We had to shut down over 2/3 of the facility. But we still kept making the bottles so we could give that area a rest and do some long overdue shutdown maintenance. So we're pretty set now that capacity's right back up. See, that whole section over there where we make the bottles is like being worked on by a bunch of guys. But meanwhile, we're still filling up.
How often do you reuse bottles?
All the time. Of course, we melt them down and recast them as new. It's the only way to be completely clean.
Oh, I see. So most of these are, in fact, made from
Everything is recycled in the vault. Not like on the surface where you scavenge for scrap and ding them together in workbenches and little huts. And then download a mod so you can make a real base.
I do have a friend that made an outfit out of a scorpion.
You see? He must have looked so cool.
She did.
Like insane Maximilian.
Very creative use of the...
Oh my. Ooh. My imagination is running wild. We don't get many women down here. They don't like the job and their temperament isn't suited for bottling.
I imagine it's a very high precision.
Although you probably want to. One of the very few women we do have in this area is the very bossy supervisor, Fat Bertha. I'll introduce you, Bertha.
There's no need.
A slim, attractive woman in her 30s comes over. She's like, "Yeah, what do you want?" "Oh, it's the Outsiders. Hi, I'm Fat Bertha."
Oh, I see.
Steel shredding clinch like grip.
Oh, I see. Actually, y'all. 13?
15.
Okay. I'll at least giving some back. I see the name's ironic.
What are you talking about?
Well, you're not fat.
Why, hell, I ain't.
What do you mean? You're...
Is your name a reference to something instead of...
Well, hell yeah. There was apparently a big Axis gun during the war called Big Bertha, and I figured since I got a right hook, she's like well swole, like ridiculously like China in the bad years in the upper body, not China the country, China the wrestler in the steroid years. I was just like, and since I pack a hell of a lot more punch than any pansy Axis weapon, I'm Fat Bertha.
I like it. Sense. It makes a lot of sense.
You a permanent resident down here?
Not at the moment.
Want a rut? I don't have time for niceties. I'm a bottling girl. You in or out?
I'm good, ma'am.
You're lost.
Man.
So you must be the two mutants, huh? So, you want to know about bottling? Don't listen to these little peckerwoods. You follow me around. I'll tell you about bottling.
We in?
You'll get the tour.
So, and all of the sand you use is comes from the stores down.
Oh, we melt down the pre-sheet glass. We ran out of sand ages ago.
Okay, well, we were just talking to someone else, and he said you had stores of sand.
Oh yeah, of pre-cut glass. All the sand is when we have an excess of glass, we cast it into big sheets and store it back up. No point in taking up all that room in sand. Just store big sheets of glass, melt it back down.
Yeah. Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
What I wouldn't give for some additional resources, though. I have this idea about coloring glass by putting dyes in the glass while it's setting.
Yeah,
but we just don't have the resources to waste on it. Could you imagine taking a refreshing drink out of something that's a fun color like orange or like a little green or blue, like water?
Yeah, I mean...
You could color code the bottles for what's in them.
Yeah, I mean, you could even put your alcohols in like a different grade of glass, so you can easily tell what's an alcoholic beverage and what's a fun.
Oh, we already got special shape bottles for the alcohol. Let me take you over to that region. Have to lock it off because people keep taking samples. Yeah, the bottles over here are thinner. Now, we use a thinner glass on the alcohol on account of people used to like smashing the bottles up, and it's just a waste of glass, and you lose a thicker chunk, so...
The old smash on the bar, and then... Is that what you're talking about?
Not anymore.
Or like a drink and throw them around making a mess.
Well, people get sloppy when they're drunk.
So,
And here's the special bottling area we have for Lyra's organization, where the higher grade stuff gets bottled up. You gotta double lock that stuff, because you can't even trust people around here with the regular proof.
But can you produce a lot of alcohol? I assume you go...
Not as much as we'd like. The grains and such are useful for other things, but we have a supply. That's why it's so expensive.
Okay. Well, all I knew was that wines were made from, like, grapes. Do you make...
We have a small vineyard, so wines tend to be the most expensive.
You can make orange wine.
Yeah, but they need all those oranges for other things. That's an important source of vitamins. C and some other letters I don't care about.
I mean, this has been a wonderful tour. What? So you guys can't have, like, aged wine in different batches?
Oh,
and
of
stuff
course
like that.
not, no.
You just can't keep up with that demand.
I understand that's how they used to do it. Aging the wine. Such a frivolous and wasteful way of making consumables, but apparently it's the way they did it.
I never really understood how that supposedly made it better.
I don't know. We can't do it, so I ain't never gonna find out. You've probably never seen a facility like this, what with you spending all your time running around on the surface away from giant monsters and things.
Not one on this scale.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be so big.
Well, it is a size-intensive operation, and we is bottling more than one thing. Now, in America that was, you'd have different buildings spread all over the place that would bottle up different things. And rich men would fly their Zeppelins into it to collect up all the money they got from bottling up their sody pops and their coffees and things like that.
I mean, it's still like that now. Like, your soda bottling plant is different from your beer bottling plant, which is different from your milk bottling plant.
So you have plants what doing, huh? Interesting.
Plant, like as in...
Well, like as
factory.
we mean it. Huh. Interesting. Well, I suppose, of course, you've got to get water to those brave boys on the front line somehow.
The war's over.
Well, that's good news.
Well, that
That was
just,
easier than it has been before.
well, that and just bottling water whenever so you can store it.
How else do you do it? How are you going to get stored water to people in a hurry? You just slosh a vat round? Bottles.
Well, bottles and plumbing.
Yeah, pipes.
Yeah, I mean, sure, if you want to drink something that's been through a pipe, maintenance ain't cleaned in years.
She makes an excellent point.
I always
I'll
try
use
not to
plumbed
think about
water for
that.
washing things, but drinking, I'll have a bottle.
Sensible.
Dang right. So you're
Look,
just like, oh, wash your diapers.
Yeah. I keep finding a new favorite person everywhere we go.
I do insist that the overseer should do something about the profanity down here. Oh, then who's going to bottle your stuff? You? Of course not. I'm a security officer. I'm a real useful member of society, you is. Anyway, tour's over. Out you go. I don't know how interesting you expect it to be.
Oh, I was
Well,
just trying to
like,
see if it was
more-
like feeding down from the ceiling or...
Yeah, if the whole facility mysteriously spread up to the actual surface because it was that tall.
Well, that was educational.
The only reason they don't know there was a surface is because nobody cleaned the upper windows at some point.
That's what all those glass sheets were for.
Maintenance.
If somebody just
Is that some maintenance guy finally gets the punishment? Wait. What?
Looks out onto the main Vegas Strip and... Yeah.
Well, hasn't that been entertaining?
I guess. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was.
the scale was impressive. Definitely have to give you guys props for doing so well down here.
Well, of course. We're America. Real America.
That Bertha was sure charming.
Really? I think she's far too profane to be charming. But it's nice that you find someone to like.
You know, just
Smutty,
don't drink
dirty
too much,
woman.
or maybe she'll get you tomorrow.
I had to say no, or y'all would have had to watch. We have to stay together.
Oh, thank you for that, then.
Oh God, I hadn't thought of that.
I also had not thought of that. Roxy, did you think of that? You were smirking right now.
We're sorry?
Oh, that we were saved from watching
Roxy's
Derek.
probably thinking about that handsome Mr. Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
Gee, I don't know. Speaking of which, I wonder how the others are doing.
I'm surprised they haven't worked out where we last were and aren't beating down on the main door.
Making some kind of
They'll never
dramatic
be able to
entrance.
find the main door behind our camouflaging abilities.
We found it.
Well, I'm sure that's been taken care of.
There was kind of a luck thing.
I mean, I didn't even see any camouflage at all, but maybe
Well,
that's...
there you go. It's working.
No, I mean,
It's happened to you at last.
I just saw the vault door. It was
Well,
right
don't
there.
worry. You need never see that again. You're safe now.
What do you mean safe?
Here in the vault. Safe, vault, get it? It's a very funny joke.
I understand, but I'd prefer to get back to my old life on the surface.
You can't have had much of a life.
What are you
Not
basing
on the
that
surface. Ooh.
on? Oh, of course. All those things you don't believe us about.
I would add you have been helping them with
Oh
that.
yeah, they only believe the things that I made up, none of the stuff that I actually said that was true.
Oh, you really shouldn't joke about falsifying your statements. I mean, it may be very funny, but it could lead to remaindering.
Now, see, that is why I would like to get back to the surface, because as a mutant, I think my options are remaindering or returning home, and...
Well, of course.
Well, I'm really curious what these tests are going to be exactly once we get the results back.
Well, you've all been tested thoroughly and invasively.
Yeah, but we're waiting on the results.
Well, that could take some time. Unless, of course, your batch got put in with the Overseer's potential candidates batch. They'll want to rush that along.
Potential candidates?
Do they screen those candidates the same way they screening us? Like,
Well, of course, they'll have to have a complete genetic purity batch.
Wait. So you're not saying that
hey,
I
Rock,
could be a potential candidate
Of
for-
course not. You're a surfacer.
Oh,
that would be pretty damn funny, though, Roxy.
no, wouldn't.
Imagining the wedding photos now.
I don't find too much funny about enforced couplings at all.
Thank you, Wanda.
That sounds entirely too much like what Stephanie keeps talking about, or Harmony even, in those long diatribes late at night at story time.
Yeah, Harmony's had to go through some stuff like that.
Has she told you about the Dunging Trident?
Yes.
That's been twice now?
She loves her Dungan Trident.
I
story.
believe actually very specifically she does not love the Dunging Trident.
No, she loves the story, which I was about to bring up, which is weird because she really hates the events of the story, but she really likes telling it.
She's reminding us who she is and where she comes from.
Her important heritage.
That she both reveres and disdains simultaneously.
Big part of who she is.
Well, but you can't just choose to be a patriot and then also a heathen.
What?
Well, like you got to be all in, right? Like you got to either believe what
Nope.
you're. What do you mean? Like you have to.
I'm out of that one
Either
too.
your government's
Well, that's like-
right or it's not. It's not.
Oh no, honey, dear,
Sweetie,
squad leader, lovely. No,
you come from a background, and maybe you decide that nuts for you, and now to struggle with that for the rest of the entirety of your life, just not suddenly just flip like a switch.